Hello Year 5s. Right, time for something a little different. Really pushing the boat out this week. I'm starting to get a little bit frustrated that I'm not teaching. Okay, so I thought, what can I do? What can I do with a bit of paper and pen? I could show you how to write some music. So music notation is reading music. What do musical notes mean? I know there are some people in our class that have been learning to read music, which is brilliant. It might be that you have a quick look at this lesson and you simply write a little bit of music yourself. Okay, but I'm going to know that most of us in our class haven't looked at musical notation before, which, to be fair, for year 5 and 6 in music, we do look at. So when you clicked on it, you should notice the first line. It says, for this lesson, find the home learning video. There was no way of me making a task on the sheet, okay? So if some of your mates are like, oh, I didn't get music, they need to look at the home learning video. The task isn't actually on here. There's a challenge on here, but you can't do that unless you've looked at the video, or unless you're somebody who can read music. And I will give the answer to this at the end. Or better turn my piano on, actually. So, looking at music notation, first thing I want you to do is I want you to click on this link here, and it should show you this. Alright, it should be a nice on-screen, I'm just making sure that's in my screen, there you go. Should be a nice on-screen keyboard. It might load, it might have to load up a bit. And you'll notice it has got like keyboard letters on, and actually you can do it with that. However, it's a bit tricky. If you click on keyboard marks, it gets rid of it. But if you click on the letter notes, the letters appear for you. Okay, so the actual notes. This dot here is middle C. So that is the middle note. Okay, on the piano, middle C is the middle note, and that's where many songs, many pieces orientate. When you play the piano, middle C is the line between your left and your right hand. Okay, and they go, they can go this way and that way. Some songs make you cross over. Bohemian Rhapsody crossover, which is pretty cool. So, and all you need to do, you can click on it. Lovely. So, you've got yourself a little keyboard here. But before we look at that, we need to understand how to write music. Now, I always see music as like computer code. It's just another language. It's like learning German. It's like writing lines of code. It's just another algorithm that humans have made to make music. So I'm going to teach you the very simple bits to reading music. Now, what I'm not going to do today is I'm not going to go through timing. That's on Friday. All I want to do today is help you to look at a piece of music and go, oh, that's this note. Okay, so can you identify which notes are which? Okay, I am going to do one thing, and it doesn't always go right straight away. Lovely. Treble clef. Now the treble clef, I'm going to label that for you. Can you see what? Yeah, you can see. Treble clef. That tells you that all the notes that are on your piece of music are from middle C upwards. Okay, you can technically go down a little bit more, but I'm not going to go there. Treble clef means C upwards for now. Okay, you can write them a little bit lower, but it's not very often. Okay, so if you're wondering, on your left, this will be your right hand on your piano. On the left hand, you'd have the bass clef. But let's go back down here. So you got your treble clef. You would also have some timings in here, but we'll look at that on Friday. So I'm just going to leave it as that for now. You'll notice I've got my lined paper, very useful. I think a lot of you should still have lined paper as well. So make sure you got your lined paper. If not, just draw 5 lines. I had to use my Star Wars coaster and draw along, so it might be a bit wonky in places. You don't actually even have to draw any line. You just need to make sure you've got 5. Okay, so these are staves. Okay, so you've got your 5 lines, your 5 staves, staff staves, can't remember how you say it now, I'm trying to remember my own piano lessons. But essentially, if the note goes up, then the pitch is higher. Remember pitch from Monday, pitch is the height of the note. So, you know, a note, oh, I'm going to have to reach it. I'm going to get my piano. Oh, there's a piano on the key. No, it doesn't matter. So this one here is lower than that pitch there, okay? Now the very first note, remember, on our keyboard, we've got middle C where the dot is. Annoyingly, that doesn't live on these staves. You need your own. You need another one here. So C is like that. I'm not going to draw. I'm not going to draw. Oh, I will. I'll draw a little one like that. So this is C. You've probably guessed why it's got a line through it. It's to show that actually it's on a stave you can't see. All right. And all the notes alternate from a line to a gap. So all the notes up your keyboard go line, gap, line, gap, line, gap, line, gap. Okay? It is actually as simple as that. So looking at the keyboard here, if you can just about see it, C, D is the next note. D is going to live in the gap here. And I think that it's a good idea if you do this with the video, and then when you look to do some of your own, you can look at this and go, ah, right, I want this note. Which one is this? This can almost be your little like answer sheet. Hopefully, you could be able to potentially finish this off. So the next note is E. So we've got our middle C here. Then we've got D. Then we've got E. Look on the notes. C, D. So that was line, space, line. I think when I was a kid, that's how I used to remember it. I used to go line, space, line, space, line, space, lines in my head. So E is on the line there. F is then in the space. And obviously these are all the same size, and you can have music that's very tiny. Oh, E, F. And you can probably work out the rest. G, and then A. I feel like I've gone like a Blue Peter or something. I'm drawing you some artwork. Here's one I made earlier. B, C. And for C, sometimes you do that. Just because you've got more room below than above. So, that is your... And what you call it, this is an octave, okay? So from one C to another C is one octave, okay? So, and you can hear the difference. I'll do it on my piano. So you can hear the difference in octave. So this is middle C. That's one octave. And all the notes in between, okay? An octave is 8 natural notes. Because you do have sharps and flats as well. We won't go into that today. So an octave is 8 natural or neutral notes. And depending on the size of your keyboard or your piano, you'll have more than one octave, obviously. So this one here that you've got one octave there, 2 octaves. Oh, it doesn't quite go to. You've nearly got 3. So you've actually got 1, 2, 3, 4, and nearly a 5th octave. Okay. So an octave is 8 notes. Now, hang on a minute. Let's use some English here. You can hear something in the word octave that will tell you how many notes there are. Octave. Octagon, octopus, 8. So octave, 8 natural and neutral notes. Okay? It's like it all comes together. Alright? So, I believe, well, the reason of that, I think oct is Latin, and a lot of music a lot of musical words and vocabulary is linked to Latin or Italian, and obviously Latin linked to very close to the Romans. So a lot of musical vocabulary is Italian or Latin. So there is your basic. Now, for those of you wondering why you've got these 5 staves and we've only gone up to there, is we just carry on. So D is then going to be up here. Now you'll notice that because as we've gone on, the notes then alternate. So it's not, D isn't always in a gap. Okay, because up here, look, the next note would be D. And the next place for it is on a line. Okay, what I'm going to do is I'm going to put 1 there, D, C1, D1. You know, E's there. F's on the line. And it goes up. Okay, it just carries on going. Okay. Once you get past that line, you start adding, like the C here, you start drawing your extra line. We don't need to go that far though, but I just wanted to show you that it's not always, D is always in a gap. Because when I first learnt this, I thought, oh, okay, so if the note's in a gap, it's only ever going to be a D, an F, or an A, and it's not. Okay, it is in the octave, but not as you go higher up. But don't worry about that today. We'll just concentrate on our octave, okay? Once you've got that, and once you've drawn this out, or even once you leave this on your screen or whatever, you can have a go at writing your own piece. Now, you don't actually probably have to draw out all the lines. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You can probably just... Oh, what did I do there? I did 6. You can probably just leave it like that. Because you've got your lines here. Okay, you might want to close it off. Essentially, you've got your lines there, haven't you? So, with your keyboard, if we look back on our task for a moment, which is all the way over there now, we're going to make a line of music. So it's completely up to you. You've got your keyboard here. You're working from middle C to the next octave C. And because you're working with these, you're going to be working in the C scale. The key of C. And I just want you to put a few notes together and make a little melody, really. So it might be that you want to start on C. That was beautiful, wasn't it? I quite like that. What was that again? I'm going to do it on piano. That was nice. I quite like that. So I'm going to go... Now, obviously, when I played that, the C was longer. And the G. And the B and the C were one note, but I'm not going to go into that today. I'm just going to write the notes down. So my music is going to go C... And then it's going to go G. You don't have to draw the tails, but I'm going to. Then it was G, which is here. Dun, dun. What was it then? B. Dun, 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 dun. B. C. B. G. Okay, I'm not going to talk to about timing or anything. I just want us to practice putting the notes on the staves, all right, on the lines. So my piece of music went like this. C, G, B, C, B. Lovely. And you guys can do the same. And you can use the keyboard on the screen to write yourself little melodies. Okay, don't make them really long, but I quite like that little phrase that I made there. I could carry that on and make it a little longer. It's completely up to you. I hope you enjoy that, and I hope that's unlocked a little bit of a new world to you. On Friday, we'll step it up a little bit more, and we'll try and look at some timings, and we'll stick with 4. So you need your maths, but it's very simple. We're going to be looking at the numbers 1, 2, 3, and 4, and adding them up. It is fine. The challenge, though, there was a challenge on the piece of paper. And I was thinking about, like send your answers on a postcard. Oh, you guys won't know that. Like your parents will know that. Oh, I feel really old now. But the challenge, I was going to say, oh, send me your answers in email, but I'll just tell you. So the challenge here was this: I've created a line of music from a very famous film. I kept it simple and just show each note as one beat. So it's not the right timing, but it's the right note. So it's not the correct rhythm or timing. Can you read each note, play it, and listen to it? What is the film? I gave you a clue which probably gives it away. Chris Pratt stars in the new films of this franchise, so there were some older ones. So what you can do is you can get the online keyboard up. You could probably if you click and drag like that, you can open up two. There you go. So you can do it like that. It goes very tiny. I'm going to play it on the piano for you though. Okay. So this was obviously it's not timed, but this is the one you were going for. Oh, actually, you know what? Let's bring you over here. Oh, I feel like I'm doing a piano tutorial now. Alright, so my middle C is middle C is here. So you can see my octave. Okay? So I'm going to look at the screen over here. I can't even see my own piece of music now. That's too far away, hang on. There we go. So, the clue is Chris Pratt stars in the new film of this franchise. And remember, it's not the right rhythm. Oh, hang on. Now that would be the right rhythm. I didn't give it with that, I got carried away with that, so it should just be... But obviously, I played it with the rhythm straight away. And hopefully, you should recognise that that's a little bit of Jurassic Park. Well done if you managed to read the notation for that. And apologies for waiting for like a minute for me to sort out my camera angle on my piano. I hope you enjoyed that lesson. That doesn't have to be the end of it. You can carry on writing music, make up some melodies, have a little play of them, and I really hope you enjoy that because you can escape. It helps you escape. Music takes you somewhere else, like when you write something. Oh, like when you write music. So I hope you enjoyed that. A little bit different. I know I did. I felt like I was almost in the classroom then.